Hello, rock stars! Matt Vandermo here! If you've been watching my channel, you should now know what an instrumental cue is. And you say to yourself, hey, all I gotta do is write a little small piece of instrumental music. As long as it sounds cool, I should be in, right? Wrong, bucko! Because before you have any success in this industry, you need to understand the three primary roles that instrumental cues fill. And if you stick with me for a few minutes, I'll tell you all about it. So buckle up and let's dive in! A good instrumental cue will accomplish one of three things. Number one, it will increase the energy of a scene. Number two, it will boost the emotion of a scene. And number three, it will add a sense of place or atmosphere. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can listen to a real expert on this topic, namely the one and only Robin Frederick, who in one of her books wrote, whether it's a film scene in a honky-tonk with a jukebox playing just the right gritty dance song, or a TV drama that ends with a close-up of a character's tear-stained face, the song is there to support the emotion, create atmosphere, and add energy to the visual. So there, Robin says exactly what I'm saying. I would trust her over me, but if she's saying it and I'm saying it, then I think you ought to pay attention. So the first thing that we'll talk about is creating a sense of place. Now, there are shows that are produced in all countries of this world, and some of them are American productions that travel to foreign countries for 1 or 2 episodes. There are a handful of cooking shows that go around the world cooking various cuisines. There are drinking shows that go out and drink in foreign countries. And there are even reality shows in which the entire production company bundles up on an airplane and flies out to film an episode or 2 in some other place. The Kardashians used to do this quite a bit. And anytime these shows are somewhere else, the production will invariably use music that sounds like it came from that culture. The goal is to make you as a viewer feel as if you are in this different place. And to accomplish that, these editors are often going to use some of the most stereotypical ethnic music that you could imagine. If a production goes to China, the team is going to use a piece of music that's going to sound like it came out of the Chinese buffet down your street. If the show goes to Ireland, you're going to get stereotypical Irish jigs. If a show goes to Scotland, you better get ready for those bagpipes. And if a show goes to Italy, there's going to be some accordion. So let's play a few examples just so you can maybe guess what country is being portrayed by the music. Starting with this one. Okay, not too hard to guess, right? How about this one? Yeah. A track like that can be added to any production that is set somewhere in the Middle East. Let's take a little trip to Mexico, shall we? Okay, you get it. But sometimes we can create a sense of place right here in America and make a listener feel like they are in a particular state. Okay, you get it. Think of haunted house shows or crime scene investigation shows. You might hear something very eerie and ominous sounding, maybe like this. Now let's move on and talk about how music can enhance emotion. Now, if you choose to go this route, just know that there are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of emotions that are captured on video and need to be portrayed to the viewer. Oftentimes, the emotion of what the actors are doing does not come across on its own, and so the music is what really makes these scenes heartbreaking or tragic or hopeful, etc. More often than not, the people that you see on the shows are not the best actors. And so if they're having a moment of heartbreak or loss or grief or fear, it's not going to come across through their acting. Well, they're not supposed to be acting anyways, right? It's supposed to be real. So the music has to help get that across. Here's a few examples of how that could work. And here we've got a sense of heartbreak, but with the feeling that things are going to get better. So there's a little bit of hopefulness in that heartbreak. Now I'm going to play you the very first track that I ever got placed on a TV show. This was on the MTV show Catfish back in the year, I think 2012. And this was played during a scene where the main guys were doing some investigation on a internet romance and things were not looking good. So there was a bit of a creepy, ominous undertone along with a little bit of emotion. So there you go. Now, the final category we'll talk about is how music can add to the energy of a scene. And this stuff is all over reality TV shows. Oftentimes, these highly energetic tracks are used during transitionary moments where the production goes from these people's house to these people's house. They do this video transition where there's a drone that flies over the cityscape, or maybe there's a time-lapse thing where the sun is now setting, which brings us from daytime to nighttime, so now we're into party mode. And in these instances, there is going to be a very highly energetic piece of music used, such as this. Or maybe something like this. Outside of transitions, maybe the video is doing something where the actors are involved in something dangerous and you need to convey that dangerous type of energy. Or perhaps you're writing music for some type of elimination-based show. You might hear something like this. So those are just some quick examples to get your brain turning, especially if you are new to this industry. But it is ultimately, above all else, super, super duper important that you remember the 3 primary roles of music within a production. And that is to boost the emotion, to add to the energy, or to create a sense of place. And now that you have that knowledge, you are one step closer to writing great music that can get great placements that can make you money, baby!